All right, let's talk about a book from 1895 that has a truly terrifying reputation. It's called The King in Yellow, written by Robert W. Chambers. And this thing, it's more than just a collection of stories. It's a legendary piece of work that pretty much laid the foundation for cosmic horror. We're talking about a book that influenced everyone from H.P. Lovecraft all the way to the creators of True Detective. And it's all built around one single potent idea, that this book is genuinely dangerous.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Forget about a book entertaining you or maybe teaching you something. What if a piece of art, just words on a page, had the power to literally shatter your mind, to completely rewrite your reality into an absolute nightmare? Well, that's the unsettling question at the very heart of this book's legend.
And the craziest part? The book itself admits how dangerous it is. The characters inside the stories describe it as this incredible masterpiece, the highest form of art. But it's an art that's been infused with a kind of spiritual poison, a truth so powerful and so unbearable that it literally acts like a toxin on the human soul.
So, in the fictional world where these stories take place, this book becomes like a pandemic of the mind. Governments ban it, officials confiscate it, it's condemned from every pulpit. But you know how it goes with forbidden knowledge, right? That just makes people want to read it even more. It spreads, relentlessly, like an infection of pure thought.
Okay, so here is the crucial twist. The book that you or I can buy, the one by Robert W. Chambers, that's not the cursed object. The real horror is a fictional two-act play that exists inside the stories, and it's also called The King in Yellow. That's the thing that dooms anyone who dares to read it.
We only ever get these little fragments of the dreaded play, like these opening lines from something called Casilda's Song, and it's just enough to create this atmosphere of beautiful but totally alien dread. It talks about a lost city, Carcosa, a place with twin suns and strange moons. It's so unnerving because it's so vague, but man, is it evocative.
You see, the real horror is in what's left unsaid. All we get are these haunting, mythological breadcrumbs. There's this lost city, a star cluster, a terrifying mask, and this mysterious yellow sign. We never get the full picture, because the true terror comes from whatever our own minds conjure up to fill in those terrifying gaps.
So let's see what this thing actually does to someone. The very first story in the collection, called The Repairer of Reputations, is basically our case study on the devastating effects of reading this cursed play.
So, we meet our narrator, Hildred Castaigne, and right from the start, his grip on reality is, let's just say it's a little shaky. He's recovering from a bad fall, and he's just been released from an asylum. So what does he choose for some light recovery reading? You guessed it, the one book in the entire world that he should absolutely, under no circumstances, touch.
And his fall is terrifyingly fast. I mean, look at this. In just a matter of weeks after reading the play, he goes from a man who was supposedly cured to a paranoid megalomaniac. He's plotting murder to claim a throne that doesn't even exist. The book doesn't just plant ideas in his head, it completely rewires his perception of reality itself. His delusion is all-consuming. He becomes convinced that this magnificent golden crown, this diadem fit for an emperor, is hidden away in his safe. He lives in this state of pure fantasy, preparing for the day the world finally recognizes him as its true king. And this contrast, wow, it is just chilling. On one side, you have his voice, filled with this triumphant, grandiose declaration of power. And on the other, you have the cold, stark reality, delivered in a simple, clinical editor's note. His entire world of empire and ambition just collapses into one pathetic sentence. The poison of the play has done its work.
But the influence of this cursed play doesn't just stop with Hildred Castaigne. Oh no. The idea is infectious, and its shadow just looms over the next few stories in the book, connecting them all with this horrible thread of creeping dread.
So this infectious idea seeps into the next story, The Mask. Now, on the surface, it's about a sculptor who finds this weird chemical solution that can turn living things into perfect marble statues. A strange, kind of fantastical story on its own, right? But then it appears, the cursed play. The narrator just finds the book. He doesn't even read it. Just the act of picking it up, of recognizing what it is enough to fill him with this deep, profound dread. The book's reputation is so powerful, it poisons the room before a single page is even turned. And this feeling continues in the next story, In the Court of the Dragon. This one is about a guy sitting in a church who becomes convinced that he's being hunted by a sinister organist, tormented by some evil presence he just can't shake. So what's the reason for his paranoia?
What's causing all this suffering? He tells us, plain as day. He's been reading The King in Yellow. The book is presented as the direct cause of all his mental and physical anguish. It's the source of the evil that's chasing him. So, all of this brings us to the real legacy of this idea, the final question that Chambers leaves us with about the very nature of art and knowledge and maybe even truth itself.
A character in that first story says this about the play. And that, right there, perfectly frames the central conflict. If a piece of art is so powerful that it destroys people, does its artistic brilliance even matter? Is it a masterpiece, or is it a crime?
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. The King in Yellow is so much more than a horror story. It's a thought experiment about the power of ideas. It asks us to seriously consider that some truths, some forms of beauty, might just be too dangerous to know. So, if you were holding a book that promised the absolute supreme essence of art, but the price was your own sanity, dare you turn the page? All right, let's talk about a book from 1895 that has a truly terrifying